I hope you guys are all having a good day. I'm to introduce you to the concept of aging. What exactly do we mean by aging? And what are the various theoretical perspectives that we can use to explain the concept of aging? As we all know that sociology is the scientific study of human behavior and society. Now, because of the complexity of the field itself, the field is wide, hence the need for um, breaking the field into branches. So sociology of aging is one of the various branches of the field of sociology. And what exactly do we mean by aging? you know um all indicator of progress through the various stages of life, which serve as one of the, maybe let me say, the scheduling mechanisms for numerous forms of social and cultural activities. For example, schooling, marrying, working, retiring, voting, and some other factors. Um, Aging means different things to different people, and there has been no agreement among scholars about what is correct and about what is right, as we all know. So exactly, what exactly is population aging? When please, if you can hear me clearly, just write or type yes in the comment section if you can hear me clearly, please. So, what exactly is population aging? Let me start by explaining the word population itself. The word population is may simply be referred to as the total number of persons living in a geographical area. So, what exactly is population aging? When a population is increasing faster than the rest of the population, it is said to be aging. But there are various factors leading to population aging. One is increasing life expectancy. When the average age at which people die, which we call mortality rate, increases, it has most serious impact in Nigeria as a country. Uh, Two, we have declining birth rate. When I say declining birth rate, this simply refers to, let me say, the average number of children born to each woman. Fertility rate declines. When it declines, when the average number of children born declines, it's called fertility rate. The result is more or less a smaller proportion of children in the population, and it also has a higher average age. So, due to recent aggressive family planning and control, it has a very serious impact. Nigerians like giving birth anyhow, especially some sections of the country. Family planning is, children is from God, and at any time you can just go to the inner room, fire from every angle, and produce children that you may not be able to cater for. Another reason is increasing out migration. Those who leave the society are disproportionately young people. So when young people leave, we leave behind our aging population. There are most of our elderly persons who cannot in any way even access, um, various, let's say, programs that will ease their pain at old age. We also have movement of birth cohort, group of people who are born possibly at a particular time, and oftentimes experience common life events. A very good example is, let me say, baby boomers. So the concept of aging is what I've just explained. However, there are various theories of aging. And what exactly do we mean by a theory? We are talking about those ideas, postulations, tenets, propositions that are used to explain something. But when I say population, theories of sociology of aging, we are talking about various ideas that can be used, to explain the problem of aging in Nigeria. One of those theories is disengagement theory. Disengagement theory. What is the uh, basic proposition of disengagement theorists. They they posit that as you age and as you grow, elderly people must, you know, withdraw from certain activities at some point in their various lives, because as you age, the organs of your body continue to age with you. Therefore, you may not be able to live up to expectation. You may not be able to engage yourself in those various activities that you have always done. And the theory was put forward by William Henry and Ellen Cummins in 1969. They argued that disengagement is an inevitable process between the society and the senior citizens. Who are the senior citizens? We are talking about the group of elderly in our various societies. So, withdrawal in this sense is seen as an action that is unavoidable between the senior citizens and the social systems around them. What exactly do we mean by the social systems? As we all know that social institutions are the bedrock of the society. They are the template at which the society, grow from time to time. So at times this withdrawal we are talking about may at times be initiated by a person or by others in the person's social environment, and it is a gradual process that allows them for future preparations. So disengagement by the elderly. So at this time in the various lives of the elderly, they forfeit important roles. That's more or less like retirement. Imagine someone that has been working for several years, at some point have to disengage from the work, from the duty. And in most instances, women undo disengagement better than men due to their dual role, and even at the peak of their various professions. There are benefits of disengagement theory. It is useful because it enables us to see how power is transferred from old to the young. That's power transfer. Disengagement theories also believe that as situation changes, it is very useful and important in explaining why some people have to retire to take another job. More so, this particular theory laid much emphasis on, its gradual, step by step, and not sudden withdrawal. For instance, now, people take up pre-retirement trainings, or organizations often, train their workers to get prepared for retirement. Another theory is activity theory. Activity, activity. There are many people who have criticized the positions of the disengagement theorists, and this theory, activity theory, came into limelight as a result of the lapses and the corrections that scholars were able to point out from the positions of disengagement theorists. According to activities theorists, um, needs and desires from middle age do not necessarily change that much, and many people continue their activities even as senior citizens. This is why, sorry, a call is interrupting the network. I'm very sorry about that. So, I said, according to activity theories, they said that as we grow old, our needs and desires do not necessarily change from what it has always been. Therefore, most older people or persons continue to engage in various activities that they've always been known for, even despite old age. This is why you see somebody that is so elderly, and they continue to, for instance, you see that most of our grandparents in most situations go to the farm. It is because they feel these are activities that they have always engaged themselves in, and whether you like it or not, this is what strengthens them. The theory argues that individuals and the social relationships that they have can remain stable across lifespan, depending largely on the individual that is involved. And the various proponents of this theory are of the opinion that any behavior which is not appropriate for middle-aged persons may not necessarily be appropriate for an elderly person. People should therefore endeavor to keep busy, by engaging in societal approved behaviors. When I say societal approved behaviors, we are talking about you at every point in time upholding the norms and values of the society. You trying to you know get yourselves involved in activities that are beneficial, to your lifespan. So there are merits, there are advantages of this theory. One is that it encourages active living. Active, whether middle, young, at old age, you continue to be active. That's why most people, even after retirement, they take up jobs from various places, thereby encouraging living their lives to the fullest. This theory also believe that an elderly person is productive. When I say an elderly person is productive, we are talking about the fact that they can continue to contribute to the economy and feel that they are not, sent off. Lastly, the elderly feel useful. The theory also has its own shortcomings because it has failed to consider that somebody may be ill, disabled, or may not be able to maintain middle age activities. The argument further strengthened, or it lies in the fact that the relationship between individuals and the social environment will remain stable and may not really be true. The theory has also failed to realize that it is not everybody that wants to keep busy, faulting the theory. There is also continuity theory. As the word implies, continuity. That means it must be a continuum. It must be a process that will continue. In summary, what continuity theory posits is that life is a continuum, is a continuity from birth to death. You continue to live from the time you are born till the time you are dead or you die. This entails continuity of patterns of behavior during different phases of life: middle, young, old. And understanding the aging process is only possible by understanding the different phases of life, which they argue that is what makes a person. Even at early stages of life, there are carryovers. Competencies learned earlier in one's life determines one's next role, and the movement from one phase of life to another determine how the individual has been living in other phases. And the experiences, therefore, the experiences, the skills and knowledge built over the years determine how one is going to age. The one that, let's say, that one is successful in studying today means that one has had successful years of training. So as individuals age, they struggle to maintain stability in their various habits, links, preferences in terms of food, dressing, and other lifestyle. So for you and I to understand the aging process, we have to examine the complex relationship among the psychological, biological, and social changes that takes place in one's life at every time. So proponents of continuity theory have argued, and they believe that our habits, in quote, maybe the food we consume, the things we drink, the relationship and experiences that we have accumulated in life, will determine, and to a large extent, what happens in our various lives. Bad habits like smoking, drinking, fighting, etc., may lead to negative consequences at old age. Then we also have age stratification theory. This was propounded by Riley and Fona in 1973. The argument is that society is typically arranged themselves into hierarchy of age strata. When I say social stratification, You are talking about the hierarchical ranking of people, members of the society. So stratification is often assigned obligations or prerogatives. And as we move from one stratum to another, our obligations, social roles, and functions changes. So people in the same stratum tend to have same motivation, capability, capacity, and abilities, etc. So this theory, each generation is unique because each generation is a reflection of a particular experience, that we pass through. So society over the years imposed certain structural factors by which each cohort is measured or viewed. Therefore, class, the nature of aging may be determined by the experiences of a particular generation. We also have social exchange theory. And as you all know that anywhere you see class place, if you are following gradually and you can hear me clearly, please just let me know. And you begin to drop your questions. Whatever I've said that you don't understand, please drop your question. I'm going to address those questions here. We also have social social exchange theory. You know, social exchange theory. When I say exchange theory, this was propounded by Dowd and Bexton, and they posit that the society is made up of different actors who pursue common goals, such as young, old, and at middle age. And in pursuing this common goal, we all engage in various exchanges with other groups. The exchanges are often beneficial and reciprocal, which in turn allow people to take out less stress. So, society in general is expected to reap maximum reward at minimum cost. When I say maximum reward at minimum cost, it may not be economic transaction, but sometimes it could be psychological or emotional, like somebody giving you support. And according to Dowd, people are always in it because what is in there for them, because of what is in there for them, rather, because of what they will gain. People tend to withdraw upon feeling that the returns or interaction that they are making is no longer favorable. You know, we once said that it's in the concept of altruism, that it is not all altruistic acts that are free. Most people in recent times do not necessarily help you because they want to help you. It is because of what you are bringing to table. It is because of what you have been able to engage, exchange. So we believe, those who believe to the school of social exchange theory, they believe that old people in the society are no longer in a position to give out rewards during interaction, and such it becomes less beneficial to others. So when people are working, they pay school fees, give out money to people, but when they retire, they will no longer be expected to do the same thing. People go to where it benefits them. It has advantage and disadvantages. One of the advantages is that it offers explanations as to why pensions are often withheld at times. And one of the great disadvantages is that it fails to realize that people relate with others out of filial responsibility or social obligations, and possibly not for what they can get out of it. There is also social breakdown theory. There is also symbolic interactionist theory. There is also what theory is that? Minority group theory. But please, the three, I think I've explained about 5 different theories, and the 5 theories are enough, to explain the concept of aging. Please, class, I can assure you that most of us have elderly persons in our various homes, and at some point in time, we tend to look at them and begin to ask questions that why are old people like this? Why are old people that? There is this stereotyping against old people. There is this stereotyping against old people. Most of us, the way we see old people, we believe that these are people whose lives have almost ended. But that is not the case, because old people from time to time also have their contributions to the development of our various societies. Nobody wished to kill his or her aged parents. So we try as much as possible, to be consistent and persistent with the care we give to them. Class, please. I please, is there any question based on the explanations I have given so far? If there is any question based on the explanations I've given, please kindly drop it in the comment section, and I'll give you like 30 seconds or 1 minute to address those questions. Please, I'm waiting. Class, please, any question before we move further? Class, please, any question? Well, in the absence of no question, let me quickly explain what we mean by minority group theory. This theory was propounded by Barron in 1983. The major proponent of this theory is Barron, 1983. And he argued that in most societies of the world, people in the minority usually suffer in discriminations and prejudices, and let me say they are of possible lower socio-economic status. At times, minority groups do not really have equal access to social services and even social amenities like hospitals, electricity, water, etc. So according to Barron, it can be deduced that old people in Africa fall within the minority label and as such exposed as problems of the minority. That's what minority theory is talking about. Then we have symbolic interactionism. As we all know that symbolic interactionism is one of the major theoretical postulations of the field. The major argument is that the acquisition of language by human beings has made them distinct, or it has made them different from other forms of beings or creatures. So through language, human beings live in a symbolic environment and can also be stimulated to act by symbol. George Herbert Mead is one of the proponents, let me say one of the major proponents of the field of symbolic interactionism. So he argued that attributing old age to people with gray hair and those who possibly need walking stick can only be as a result of meanings and values learned from the use of symbols in communication. Why exactly do people associate the aged or elderly persons with witchcraft? This is because they no longer look good, except an elderly person who has money to look good. An average elderly person no longer looks good. This is because they have fallen teeth, they have gray hair. You can see an elderly person with just two set of teeth in this or her mouth. So if we have pictured, if we have been able to picture angels, it will be ascribed to middle-aged people because they are not aged. So human ability to read meanings into symbols as a means of communication is responsible for seeing old people, as something not too presentable, something not too good, and something not what people should associate with. We equally have modernization theory. As the name implies, modernization, modern, civilization. How has the society been able to evolve from primitive levels to more advanced levels that we are right now? The theory posits that processes that cause society to evolve from rural, agrarian to social and more urban economic systems, or let me just say to more advanced or industrialized societies, were also the same that eroded the respect of self-esteem accorded to the aging population. Their argument contend that modernized, industrialized, or advanced societies of the world have transformed from relatively rural way of life based on parochial and traditional outlook, therefore to a predominantly urban way of let me say based on cosmopolitan outlook. So modernization itself translates to the, let me say, to the emergence of scientific technology, western education, new occupations. So this invariably, the elderly who are unable to cope, let's say by the virtue of their age and competence, are disadvantaged. They are disadvantaged, consequently eroding their self-esteem and rendering them irrelevant in modernized societies. So modernization resulted in increased life expectancy and decreased fertility. So it also empowered women and geographical migration, all to the detriment, um, of the elderly. In most children know things more than their parents, diluting the importance of old age wisdom in today's society. So there are important reasons for studying modernization theory. The theory is good in such a way that it helps us to explain the tentative position of the aging population with respect to modernization. On the other hand, the theory may also be wrong in saying that modernization has eroded all traditional structures. The elderly are still very relevant in so many ways. Class, I think I've been able to explain what the theories are to a larger extent. So if you have questions, please, you may direct your questions to me. Thank you so much.